Now then, people, it's Joe, All Leeds TV, and we are back. I am back. All Leeds TV are back, and football is back. Honestly, I've been absolutely chomping at the bit to get going, and I hope you guys have felt the same. Like I say, it's your first preview of the season, and it is Bristol City away at Ashton Gate. We'll get into that in a little second. Obviously today, over the night really, after the Q&A where Conor said there'll be plenty of twists and turns yet to come. Today, obviously, the sale of BPF has gone through to Burnley. In regards to BPF, I'm not that worried. I never really rated the kid, just my opinion. Roof to Anderlecht, it's almost done. I think it's definitely going to happen, 7 million. Just my thoughts on the whole Roof situation. I've done some bits on social media, but just to reiterate again, listen, Roof's the best we've got at this moment in time. In a business sense, I can see why the club want to do the deal. For me, I don't think he's quite Prem quality. It's just my opinion. You might not agree. Get 7 million for him now. They don't want to give him parity. If we gave him parity and we go to the Prem, do we then have to move him on? A lot of people say, oh well, when he's in the Prem, automatically his value suddenly jumps up. I'm not so sure that's the case. And look, he's injured. He's going to be out for a number of weeks. Do we take the 7 million now and look to reinvest it? And this is the key point for me. Our season, Rad's tenure as custodian of this mighty football club hinges on this 6 days that we have left on in the window. Because for me, with the sale of Roof, with the sale of BPF, with the sale of Pontus, and also the sale of all the Deadwood as well, even moving Halme on, moving Wilkes on, there is enough money now in the coffers. You're talking upwards of 25 million. There is enough money there now to go out and get that marquee striker signing that we need to replace Roof and get us over the line. For me, if we had a striker that gets you 20, 25 goals a season, a lot of you might say, well, Roof could or Bamford could. Yes, they maybe could, but someone who's going to guarantee you that, a la Mitrovic, Gale, Morphy, Che Adams. I'm talking that ilk of a striker. The money's there now for me, and as I say, Rad's tenure, hangs massively in the balance on this, because if we don't do it and we don't have the season that we all expect us to have, it'll hinge on this moment. It's huge. We've got the money. Go get Gale. Do you know what I mean? Just get it done. Get more pay. These are the sort of players that we need to be looking at, especially with the money there. And as I say, it's shit or bust time. Shit or bust time. You've got arguably the best coach we've ever had. One of the best managers and coaches in the world. You've got a decent squad there, regardless if you think it's weaker or stronger. It's championship ready. It's ready to go. And for me, you've got the money there now, Radrazani. So for me, you have to go out and you have to spend it on that marquee signing. Do that, and it's been a great window. Don't do it, and it's the other side. And as I say, for me, it's shit or bust. And look, me and Conor will be doing an Instagram live tomorrow on the Conor and Joe show, exclusive to Instagram. As I say, if you haven't already, make sure you follow us on that. You will be good, happy to know. Not everyone can watch the lives. I understand that. So what we're going to do after we've, put them out on Instagram, if you haven't had a chance to watch them live, we will be banging it on YouTube. So me and Conor will be discussing the Roof situation and the lead up to the Bristol City game tomorrow on Instagram live at some point. And tonight we also have a Bristol City fan on. Charlie, his name is. I put a tweet out asking if any Bristol City fans wanted to come on so we could talk about the game. Let's talk more in depth about Bristol City threats and their window and how they see their season going. So we got everybody basically mentioned. Charlie, I messaged him. He's going to be coming on later on tonight. And as I say, if you don't have a chance to watch it at 9 o'clock on Instagram Live, it will be on YouTube for you all to watch. And just before we get into the video and talk more about Bristol City, we are looking for sponsorship this term. As I say, we do get a hell of a lot of viewers. We have a decent presence all over social media. So any local businesses or anyone, in fact, wants to get pictured on this wall, you're going to get a hell of a lot of views. We're almost, eclipsing 10,000 soon enough. So as I say, if you are interested, please get in touch. Just drop us a DM on socials, as I say. And before we get started, make sure you hit a like on the video. And let's go. So, Bristol City then, how do we do? Last season we beat them both times. Lee Johnson likes to run his mouth. I'm not really keen on the guy. As I said, if you remember rightly, he said I'd love to play Leeds in the playoffs. They didn't even get in the playoffs. So, you know, for me, he's a bit of a bell. Last time at Ashton Gate, we beat them 1-0. And if you haven't seen the press conference today as well, even Click said, look, Lee Johnson and Bristol City like to run their mouths a little bit. They said they could beat us. You know, they only ever had 3 shots on target in the 2 games that we did play them. So it tells you, you know, all you need to know about Lee Johnson, living in cloud cuckoo land at times. And you know, I do see us going there, and I do see us getting a result. It's a tough game, but a good game to start us off with, I believe. Notable additions for Bristol City, as I say, they've brought Casey Palmer in. They've brought a guy on from Colchester as well, on a free Schmordix. I may have said that wrong. You know, they've got Bentley in goal, so they've had a change around of keeper. J.D. Silva as well, and they've also got Callas on a permanent, which is a top level centre back at this level. Listen, at times last season, Jeju up top was isolated. You know, and but maybe, you know, with these key additions, with Schmordix and Casey Palmer, maybe that'll change. You know, they also have the threat of Anders Wainman for me, who I really rate at this level. And then obviously in the centre apart, you know, you've got Marlon Pack and Josh Brown, who I believe was sent off in the game against us last term. So, you know, they are a very good championship side. They've just sold Adam Webster to Brighton as well for upwards of 20 million. You know, that's crazy money. I believe it's the championship record for a player leaving the division. It's more than the McBurney one to Sheffield United, for example, and Che Adams and stuff. So yeah, it's listen, they've got money there. Maybe it's lucky that we're playing them as soon as we are, because they're hardly going to be able to spend that and get them in and ready for the game on Sunday. But listen, they're a decent side. Do I think we can beat them? Yes. I do see us winning the game. I do see us winning 2-1, and I see us doing it with this team. I'm going to give you my team 4-1-4-1. I will go with. I don't think we're going to see you know, the 3-3-1-3 that's been muted. 3-6-9-10, yeah, 3-3-1-3-1. You know what Bielsa's like. I half of the time I struggle to keep up with it. I was listening to a podcast the other day, and they said something similar. The formation is so fluid. You know, the interchangeable positions. You know, I was reading a piece before about the 3-3. I'm doing it again. 3-3-1-3-1. You know, about how the wingers come into the centre, and honestly, it's so good to see with Bielsa. But as I say, yeah, I do see us winning the game, and I see us winning 2-1. And my team for the game, it's going to be Kiko in goal. Dallas will start at right back. I think the great thing about Dallas, and I said this, we did a video yesterday at Ellen Road, All Leeds TV. I think going forward he's better than Ayling. Yeah, he's not as good overall. I'm not saying that, but I do think going forward he's better. And on the other side we have Barry Douglas, and this is a key thing for me. We need to see more from the fullbacks this season. Hopefully more goals. I think Barry Douglas is going to have an absolute barnstormer of a season. By all accounts as well, at the Q&A yesterday, it was said, you know, Barry Douglas said that Costa's been on absolute fire in training, and everyone's a little bit in awe. So I can't wait to see Helder Costa as well. You're going to have centre-back partnership of Cooper and White. Really excited to see Ben White. Listen, I know everyone, well, the fan base was 50-50 split, but I know everyone is sad to see Pontus go, whether or not you agree with the decision. So everyone's sad to see him go. He's a good centre-back. He's a good centre-back at this level. However, I do think Ben White, although I'm not saying he's at Pontus's level yet, I think he's better suited to our team than what Pontus is. Seen him in pre-season, yeah, there has been a few shaky moments. He's only a young lad, but bringing it out from the back, it negates the need as well for me for KP to always drop in there, and sometimes KP will be playing triangles and he'd be in a fullback position. With the addition of White, maybe that's not needed as much, because Ben White is a brilliant ball carrier. Ben White is a great passer of the ball, and I'm really excited to see him. The one thing that does worry me with Ben White, few misplaced passes early doors at Ellen Road, crowd turns. How does he react to that? Because it is a tough place to play, let's not kid ourselves. In front of them, the main man, who I believe is going to stay as well, unlucky Villa, but for me he stays. He loves this club, and I love him, and I think 99% of us love him. Yeah, KP, absolute destroyer. best player in that position, and future England player in that position for me. Then you've got in the 8 and 10, Forshaw and Click. I think the key thing that I took from the Cagliari game, Forshaw's interview after the game, is how he expects him and Click to interchange. Forshaw says he wants to bring goal scoring to his game, and that's going to be something he's going to need to work on at the end of the day, because, as I say, for me, I don't think he's great in front of goal. Yeah, he scored against York, but it's something, he doesn't have a click about him in that respect. So if he is going to interchange between the 8 and 10, let's hope that goal scoring does come on. On the right hand side, the magic man that is Pablo Hernandez, and on the left hand side, I'm going to have Harrison. I think Harrison, for me, wow, I was at LS11 Live yesterday, and someone mentioned, I think it might have been Tony Dorigo, that Harrison had not only been putting in work, he'd also employed himself a finishing coach that he paid for himself. I know they're on a lot of money, but he doesn't have to do that. He's gone out and done that, and you can see it already. The 2 goals that were well taken against York. For me, he's been the standout of pre-season. I think he's had an absolute barnstorming pre-season, and just like myself, he's looking hench. And then up top is Patrick Bamford. Obviously, a lot of you might say, well, where's Costa? I just think, and I don't want you to read too much into it, as I say, I just think he doesn't blood him in the first game. We probably will see him. He probably comes off the bench. He might have been on fire. But look at last season. I remember last season there was only Barry Douglas against that game in Stoke. He's very loyal, is Bielsa, and I think he starts with almost the same bodies that ended the season, bar a few injuries. I think Patrick Bamford leads the line, and do you know what? Let's stick our neck out and say Paddy Bamford scores the winner. I do think we might go behind just because it's Leeds United. But yeah, Patrick Bamford to lead the line. Listen, the jury's still out on Patrick. You know what I was like, the way the season ended. I was absolutely fuming. For me, I'd have said, right, get shot. The club was never going to do that. We're too invested in that with the money put in and the wages on. He has my full support. I'm not on this thing. Listen, everyone's entitled. No one's exempt from criticism. He will get it from me if he's having a bad game. What I won't do is give him vitriol at the game. I won't abuse him at the game. Yes, I'll, emotion. Oh, for fuck's sake, you know how it goes. But, there has been a lot of targeted abuse towards him. It doesn't help anybody, Dorigo and Hughes said that themselves last night at LS11 Live. Do you think, what's it going to do? What does it gain? Nothing. So we must support him. And if he is leading the line on Sunday, which I fully expect him to do, I hope he goes out there and gets himself a brace. Could Costa play there though? You could see Harrison there in the false 9. It's been done before. What does worry me is if Bielsa sees that and it works, does he then say, look, we don't need a striker? We know what he's like, because he feels like he doesn't need a centre back, he doesn't need an extra defender because of the amount of bodies we have in there. I can sort of see that. Yes, for me, I would go out and get another centre back, 100%. But in Bielsa's eyes, you've got so many players that can play in them roles. You've got Ayling, KP could go in there. You've got Cooper, you've got White, you've got Berardi at fullbacks. You've got so many options. Leif Davis, Robbie Gotts can play there. You've got Douglas, you've got Alioski, you've got Dallas, Berardi. From the defence perspective, I can sort of see Bielsa's thinking. I don't agree with it. I do feel we need another centre back. But we must now go out and get another striker. But I'm off point a little bit. Just really looking forward to the game. It's going to be a decent game. As I say, it's a tough game to start us off with, but a good game. Let's set a barometer. Let's set a marker out. Let's go out there. Centenary season. I'm going to say it. It's our time. I'll continue to say it. It is what it is. We have the makings of a brilliant side here. Yes, we need that striker now. Roos moving on, but we need to get off to a good start. It's a tough place to go. Maybe not so for Leeds, but it's a good game to start us off with. And as I say, I see us winning the game 2-1. But thank you so much for tuning in, guys. Make sure you hit a like, make sure you like, share, subscribe, all that jazz, and make sure you look out for more content coming your way very soon. It's been a pleasure, so good to be back. I'll be doing a watch along live for the game on Sunday, so make sure you hit notifications on all Leeds TV, and I'll see you all Sunday. Peace out now. Leeds, Leeds, Leeds!